Item 4F, Fire Station Number 3. F1 is consideration and approval of budget amendment for a supplemental appropriation for the design services for the construction of Fire Station Number 3 in the amount of $600,000. F2, consideration and approval of professional design services proposal with GH2 Architects LLC for the construction of a new Fire Station Number 3, not to exceed $525,000. Chief?
Mayor, Council, I'm Terry Essery. I'm your fire chief. Good evening. I will talk fast because I know you guys have been meeting since 2 o'clock this afternoon. So just to give you some quick background on this, Fire Station 3 is currently 43 years old, and it's nearing the end of its useful life. The problems that we've had with Station 3 is inadequate accommodations for our female firefighters, small lot size, so the trucks have to stop traffic and back in. And it's not designed for adequate space between the bay and the living quarters to separate the contaminants from the firefighters, and those are just a few. In 2021, a feasibility study was conducted, and it was determined that even though a remodel would be cheaper, the remodel would only buy us 15 years. And at the end of its life, we would still end up investing the same amount of money and still not have this type of station that we needed in the long run. My predecessor, Chief Goodwin, secured a 2-acre property in 2023 on Kelly, south of Danforth. And he secured money through the CIP 2017 fund for the year 26-27 fiscal year. At the time, the cost of design was not included in that request due to the status of the Fire Department Reserve Fund, and it was much healthier at that time than it is today. Times have changed, and it's because of that situation that we're here tonight to request the budget amendment. And we brought this to the CIP committee earlier this year, and since then we've been working on an architect that would move the project forward, and we request that you approve the budget amendment. And I would be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Any questions? Do we have anyone in the audience that'd like to address this issue?
Mayor, can I just quickly
Yes.
point out, if you recall, as the chief pointed out, it was a few hours ago, but when we were talking about use of fund balance out of the 2017 CIP, and I mentioned that there were some projects that had been budgeted, we weren't sure how they were going to progress. This is a good example of one. Meaning the construction, not the design. We're supportive of moving forward with the design, but I know the council will want to have some additional discussion at some point about whether or not it's appropriate to use that 2017 CIP for construction.
Well, my bigger question is, did the CIP board approve this request?
Yes, sir, they did. They did. Yeah.
And it sounds like they did. And if the funds are there, I believe in supporting what our boards are recommending to us. It doesn't get us out of the bigger question, and that's we add a replacement building. I understand that the existing building costs us money simply because of the added maintenance to keep it running and some of the other issues. But when we put a new building into play, what does it cost us on the budget to handle that one as well? So there are conversations that are going to have to be had at some point, but I think we all know that something has to be done about this particular station.
I think it's exactly in that vein that we are comfortable now proceeding with design, knowing that we'll revisit that construction conversation later.
And Mayor, I think it's important for you to know that this will not require additional personnel or additional equipment. It's just the replacement of the station.
Right. Yeah. The long term is what's the additional maintenance cost of
Yes,
the
sir.
building. You got a lot of maintenance cost on an old building.
Mm-hmm.
Do we make up ground?
Yes.
Or does it cost us more? And that's part of that future conversation. We just need to be aware of it in light of the conversation we had, 3.5 hours ago? All right, any other questions? What do y'all want to do?
I was on CIP when we voted to put the money towards the station, so I'm very supportive of moving this one. It's terrible, the old one. We got to do something there, so I'm supportive, and I'll make a motion to approve item F1.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Cast your vote. Motion passes 5-0.
Do you have more you want to say on F2, Chief?
I think it's important to note that in choosing the architectural services, we wanted to choose someone local, so our money would stay as local as possible, and that played a critical factor in how we chose the architect, and we chose to go with GH2, and just based on their track record and the fact that they've built fire stations and they've been successful with that.
And obviously the same conversation again, right? So we'll save us a little time. Do we have anyone that wants to comment on this one? Seeing none, what do you want to do?
Motion to approve for F2.
Second. I have a motion and a second. Cast your vote. Motion passes 5-0.